If you were at Newark Airport on Monday, March 12th between 12:45 and 9 p.m., you might have the measles and you might be spreading it. There was a little boy reportedly that had the measles that was at the airport at that time, and now authorities are warning that if you were there, you could have come in contact and have this disease. I want to bring in an expert. Her name is Dr. Uzma Hassan. And Doctor, welcome to Chasing News. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So, Doctor, let me ask you, how real is this concern? We remember back to the Ebola scare a few years back, and Governor Christie had people quarantined. Remember, the nurse from Maine was quarantined after coming back from a flight from Africa. Are we at that point where we should be quarantining people?
No. So measles is a very highly contagious disease. However, if somebody is immunized, they are protected against developing measles.
So let me ask you then, how common is it for people not to be immunized against the measles? I would assume that most people get that shot. I don't know when you get that shot as a kid, I guess. But if you have not had the measles shot, what should you be looking for and what's the danger?
That's correct. So measles typically will present with fever, a cough, runny nose, and red eyes, and a rash that typically begins on the face and spread downwards and outwards. If you have been exposed to somebody with measles, the time of onset of symptoms is typically about 8 to 14 days out. And somebody who has been vaccinated is protected against developing this illness.
What about cleaning the airport? I have to be honest, Doc, I'm a little grossed out. I'm going to be heading to Newark Airport in a few days.
The way that measles is spread is through exposure to secretions of the infected individual. And, as long as you've not had direct exposure to those secretions, the risk is non-existent.
So unless you touch the kid or maybe you use the same fork or the sink in the bathroom or something, the chances of you having it, not very good.
That's correct.
Okay. Doc, thank you. One quick thing. What do you recommend for people this time of year? You see people in Japan and China walking around with masks on their face. Is that something that you recommend for people here? And would that help you and create a barrier?
I don't think so. I think that our chances of being exposed to routine viruses are pretty nominal as long as you're careful with hand hygiene and washing your hands after exposure to any secretions, etc. But I do not recommend that we wear masks for our routine, run-of-the-mill daily activities.
Okay. Thanks, Doc. Good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.